My story is I'm a mum who lost her baby to forced adoption.
This Parliament, on behalf of the Australian people, we say sorry to you, the mothers who were denied knowledge of your rights, which meant you could not provide informed consent.
I won't forget, I won't forgive, and I can't accept the fact that they took my baby and I never saw him grow up.
In December of 1969, I got a job as a governess on a property in Western Queensland. I was a victim of pack rape. And I wrote to my mum, told her the situation, and she said, you can't come home. The people I was working for spoke to the Bush brothers, they're the Anglican travelling ministers, and they found me the place at St Mary's.
In 1965, I found myself pregnant and became engaged because I was pregnant, and then was jilted 3 weeks before my wedding. So with that, I was sent to St Mary's Home at Toowong and stayed there until the birth of my son.
Some really tragic experiences happened here. The grief runs so deep that nothing can really completely heal that. But I think reaching out a hand in friendship and support and acknowledging what they went through and its deep impact means a lot to these women.
The garden means somewhere to go and reflect on what's happened, but it's also a bit of a closure with the home. That's part of the story that we left behind. It still impacts on us today. You might hear a song or you might see something on the TV and it takes you back to that instant.
The way I have coped with life from the loss of my son is I have separated the younger person that was me, and her suffering, she never recovered from that. So her suffering, I sort of have divided my life into two pieces. I'm happily married, I have two beautiful daughters, and that life is all I could want it to be. But when our lives mix, then I'm faced with all the things that she lost. She lost everything.
Went to the hospital, had him at about 2:30 in the morning. I vaguely remember the clock in front of my face. And they just took him straight away. I didn't see him. They just took him straight out of the ward. I asked to see him and I was refused. I wouldn't have known that I had a son except somebody came back and said that you had a son, a long skinny streak like yourself, crop of black hair and the same crooked little fingers. So for a long time afterwards I was looking for a baby with crooked fingers. I was in the hospital for 10 days. I refused to sign the consent form. I kept asking to see him. I was told, don't bother looking for him, you'll never find him. And they told me the only way to get out of here is to sign the consent form.
I have no medical records, but I feel that I was drugged because I don't remember his birth or the next 5 days. I just feel I was kept in a sedated state so that I wouldn't cause any complications for them. Once I'd signed the consent form with no guardian, no parent there, I was allowed to go down and see him through a glass window. And when I asked could I nurse him, they said, no, you're too upset, go back to your room. So that was my one memory. I can still see his face today. The garden is a part of a journey. The end of the journey will be when I get my name on a birth or death certificate, and they'll have a leaf that has my name and my son's birth name on it. And to me, that's the first time in 53 years I've seen our names linked together. So no more secrecy and no more lies. That little leaf means the world to me.
1993 we met for the first time and I met him at the airport, and in my mind I'm expecting the baby that I'd never seen, and out walks a man in front of me. It's like really hard to accept mentally, that transition from baby to man, and all I wanted to do was cling onto him and not let him go. So yes, we've worked hard for the relationship that we have today. We've lived through it. We look after each other, each other's back, and we fight together for everything that's still required.
The damage that they did to mothers and children and the extended families is ongoing. It's not an incident that happened once and then you walked away from it unscathed. It's a lifetime sentence.